Coming up on this edition of Bearkat Student Media News, see how students came back to vandalism all over campus and if anyone was held responsible for the damages. Also, this month represents Black History Month. See about how Sam Houston State is recognizing the event.
Live from the Dan Rather Communications Building on the campus of Sam Houston State University, this is Channel 7 News.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Justin Hardcastle. Welcome to Bearkat Student Media News. 2 weeks after students returned from winter break, university police were called to investigate after multiple buildings across campus had their windows broken. Bearkat Student Media's Angie Rodriguez has more on what happened and who's been charged.
Many Sam Houston State University students came back to campus after the winter break with resolutions of a new year, new semester. What they didn't expect to see was shattered glass scattered all around campus.
Students received a CatSafe notification in response to criminal activity that took place around 1:30 a.m. on January 29th. University police arrived at the School of Music to find broken windows and then saw several other buildings on campus had some of their windows shattered as well, including the large front windows of the Loman Student Center.
Well, this is just my opinion, but I think after everybody being locked up during the pandemic, so to speak, not a lot of contact with individuals coming out, I think it's been an adjustment for everybody. I think also you're looking at economic factors as well that also lead to types of crimes that are committed.
According to university police, the damages cost the school about $100,000. The windows have since been replaced, but some students are still worried about their safety as a result of this incident.
I just thought it was a really heinous and crazy act, like it was really uncalled for, unnecessary, and just caused a lot of, damage to the school and also not very nice for students to look at. Just not a good environment.
Campus police arrested Ryan Graver in connection to this incident. He's been charged with third-degree criminal mischief. Police accuse Graver of not only breaking the windows of the School of Music and the LSC, but also windows in the University Theater Center, the Lee Drain Building, the Farrington Building, and Academic Building 3.
I think it is, scary for students to encounter and see something like that and also know that, there's someone on campus that would do such a thing. But I do believe that the Sam Houston police would have such acts under control from now on.
Despite most of the physical damage being fixed, SHSU students' safety has become an even higher priority for UPD.
We just ask people, like, when you go out, do you have a plan? So when you sit down, even though you're at a restaurant, and there's other people there, and that's the furthest thing from your mind, but it takes 5 seconds to look around, and it's like, if I have to leave in a hurry, which way do I go? Where can I go? And so that goes a long way in helping in our own personal safety, because that's who has to really, at the end of the day, take account for it, and what we do is ourselves.
From the campus of Sam Houston State University, Angie Rodriguez, Bearkat Student Media.
Happy times, happy Black History Month, and happy birthday. As Black History Month comes to an end, members of the Samuel Walker Houston Museum and Culture Center prepare for their celebration finale.
Wednesday, the 22nd. We are going to do a wreath ceremony at the cemetery where Samuel Walker Houston was buried. Yes, here in Huntsville at the Oakwood Cemetery. That event will start at 10:30 on the morning of next Wednesday. We will lay the wreath. We'll have a wreath ceremony there. We'll lay the wreath for what would have been his 159th birthday.
Samuel Walker Houston established the first training school in East Texas for former enslaved people of color, and the mission of his celebration of life is to preserve his history and honor. And to commemorate Black History Month, we celebrate the first African-American student admitted to Sam Houston State University. In 1964, John Arthur Patrick became the first black student to be admitted to what was then called the Sam Houston State Teachers College. It paved the way for future black students to attend. Patrick graduated cum laude from SHSU and became a high school math teacher in Houston. Later, he taught in the Galveston Independent School District. More than 2,700 African-American undergrads attend SAM today, and that's about 17% of the overall enrollment. The Sam Houston Memorial Museum introduces the 13 enslaved people owned by Sam Houston. 12 slaves were listed by first name on an inventory sheet, plus one who wasn't, Tom Blue, and he lived to be 115 years old. The exhibit showcases their lives with Sam Houston and how little we know of them as people. Museum staff have found 4 of the 13 individuals so far.
It looks impossible, but we still are not going to give up. I still want to tell their stories. They were still human beings that were a big part of Sam Houston's life. They deserve their foot in history.
It shows the Houston family's relationships with their slaves, using quotes from letters between Sam and Margaret Houston. The museum asks that visitors, local families reach out with information, documents, or artifacts. Stuffed animals are a common gift on Valentine's Day. Sam Houston State students gathered last week to create their own plush buddies. Bearkat Student Media's Fatima Maldonado has more.
Sam Houston State University's Program Council hosted its annual Valentine's Day Build-A-Bae event. At Build-A-Bae, students made their own stuffed animals. The Program Council provided unstuffed animals, plush filler to fill the animals, and birth certificates. The animal options included a panda bear, sloth, pig, cheetah, and more. Most students, like Maddie Castañeda, said they made their stuffed animal to keep, not as a Valentine's gift.
So this is my stuffed animal, and her name is Emmy, and she's probably like my 7th or 8th elephant, but I just love hanging out with them.
Other students, like Michael Cedillo, made the plush animal to gift to their Valentine.
I'm giving it to my girlfriend. We have a thing, we say baby elephants because that's another way of saying I love you, so for her, baby elephants.
Students on all Sam Houston campuses enjoyed Build-A-Bae. The Program Council ordered 500 plush animals for the Huntsville campus, 200 for the Conroe campus, and 150 for the Woodland Center. Here in Huntsville, the Program Council turned away several students because they ran out of stuffed animals with 40 minutes still left in the event. The entry line for the Build-A-Bae event remained full until no more were left. Some students said they waited up to an hour in line, but most said the wait was worth it. From the campus of Sam Houston State University, Fatima Maldonado, Bearkat Student Media.
Coming up, we talked to students about the Huntsville house party where gunfire broke out. How safe do you feel going to off-campus parties? Earlier this month, an organized house party in Huntsville ended suddenly after 4 partygoers were shot, and 2 of them died. Bearkat Student Media's Jacob Thompson has more on the investigation, including the victims and suspects.
Just after 1 a.m. on February 4th, the music at a house party on 19th Street in Huntsville was interrupted by gunshots after reports say a fight broke out. Huntsville police said 4 victims were hit by bullets and taken to area hospitals for treatment. Police said 18-year-old James Jones died of his injuries that same morning. 18-year-old Cruz Garcia died the next day. According to a press release, police arrested 22-year-old Joe Allen Lewis for felony aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and 19-year-old Lynn Johnson for assault, a Class A misdemeanor. Reports say detectives may pursue more charges as the investigation continues. Police say Jones and Garcia attended the house party organized by a group that goes by the name The Play. The group circulated posters to the Sam Houston State University students, as well as other students and young adults around the Huntsville area. Pictured in the poster, you can see the organizers provide alcohol and music in exchange for an admission fee. We've asked a couple of SHSU students if they were aware of these advertised parties, as well as how they stay safe when planning a night out.
I mean, it's really hard for them to stop it on campus because they'd have to have someone just walking around looking for posters. But it's really weird that it was also circulated to other students that aren't at SAM, because that's obviously a real young crowd.
Probably the most important thing would be probably like the location of where the party's at or who exactly is hosting it.
Huntsville police strongly urge anyone with information to contact them at 936-291-5427. Detectives are particularly interested in speaking to anyone who attended the party and can provide any information. GoFundMe pages have been created to cover funeral costs for both Jones and Garcia. From the campus of Sam Houston State University, Jacob Thompson, Bearkat Student Media.
The improvements to the rec center at Sam Houston State University are ongoing, but should wrap up this year. Approved by the System Board of Regents, the multi-million-dollar renovation project is part of the Capital Improvements Program introduced by the Texas State University system. The renovation includes expansions projects of a 9,100 square feet, and an additional 21,000 square feet of renovations will be done to the existing recreational building. The improvements are expected to be completed by this fall. At the start of Women's History Month on March 1st, the Sam Houston Memorial Museum staff will open its new exhibit to the public. Ladies of Influence, Significant Women in the Life of Sam Houston, is created by Judy Ralph. The exhibit will include those who had a personal relationship with Sam Houston.
So either a mother, a daughter, or a wife, and there were 3 of them.
Eliza Revel is another woman included, as a servant who dedicated her entire life to the caretaking of the Houstons. Ralph hopes to ensure the women who made a difference in Sam Houston's life will be remembered. Houston's first wife, Eliza Allen, destroyed most of her own imagery.
So that's why this is significant, because nobody's really ever seen any pictures of her.
The exhibit invites you to discover the lives of the women who made General Sam Houston to be who we know him as today.
Well, everyone knows the old saying, behind every great man is a great woman. Well, I want to say that behind Sam Houston was a lot of great women.
Ralph hopes to eventually turn Ladies of Influence into a traveling exhibit and expand to other important women in Sam Houston's life. Still ahead, find out how Sam Houston State University plans to welcome future students to campus. Details after the break.
And the weather is heating up in Huntsville. I'm forecaster Angie Rodriguez, and I'll have your full weather picture after the break.
Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home was established in September of 2003. Our partnership with the Small Business Development Center is just like our partnership with other vendors in our community.
We developed a marketing plan, a strategic analysis, as well as social media presence.
If you let them, they can take your dream, put it to paper. That's the way we got started, and 13 years later, we're very happy to be a part of this community.
I enjoy seeing kids, regardless of their age, see the light bulb go on and they have that aha moment. In 1997, I started Tomorrow's Promise, the Montessori School of Huntsville, with 3 students. The Small Business Development Center helped me with classes on how to open a business.
We also helped Kay market through social media, website analysis, and develop funding opportunities.
We have grown to 38 teachers and over 220 students.
Good afternoon, Huntsville and Sam Houston State University students. I'm Angie Rodriguez with your local forecast. Now, it's currently 84 degrees in Huntsville with partly sunny skies throughout the day. The humidity is at 82%, winds at 16 miles an hour with that feels like temperature at 73. Around the region, Centerville is at 82 degrees. College Station comes in at 85 degrees, partly cloudy. Groveton is now at 83 degrees. Livingston checks in at 83 as well, and Conroe checks in at 83. Statewide, El Paso is seeing a temperature of 60 degrees, partly cloudy skies. In Lubbock, we're at 68, and in Dallas, we're at 79. In Brownsville, we are at a windy 89. Now around the nation, it is 44 degrees in New York, 36 in Chicago, and 81 down in Miami. In Denver, it is snowy with 18 degrees, and lastly in LA, it is 56 degrees. For tomorrow, we're going to wake up to a temperature of 67 degrees in Huntsville. The sunrise will be at 6:55 a.m. with partly cloudy skies and a slight chance of rain. Winds from the east at 6 miles an hour, and the humidity will be at 93%. The 5-day forecast for Huntsville. Tomorrow, the high is 80 with a low of 66. Friday has a high of 78 with a low of 65. Saturday, a high of 81 with a low of 68. And Monday has a high of 74 with a low of 51 and a 20% chance of rain. Now that's it from the Bearkat Student Media Weather Center. I'm Angie Rodriguez. You have a great rest of your week.
Thanks for that weather update, Angie. Now let's take a look at this week's Ag Report. Wheat futures have lowered as the global supply of wheat is expected to surge. According to the Department of Agriculture, in the United States, 784 million metric tons of grains are expected to be produced. Russia is expected to produce 92 million metric tons of grain, which, despite Russia's ongoing war with Ukraine, is up 75 million metric tons from last year. For corn production, since the beginning of the new market year on September 1st, corn exports are down, about 1.6 million tons less than this time last year. Overall, wheat futures for this May are down 8 cents, soybean futures are down 5.5 cents, and corn futures declined by 2 cents. A bill has passed the North Dakota State House to allow corporate farming for the first time in 90 years. North Dakota has prohibited people who aren't related from owning and operating farms together. If this bill becomes law, it would allow people to build corporations in animal agriculture for the first time. Any corporate farm would be limited to 160 acres, and it even seems to have the support of the North Dakota Farmers Union, who are backing a corporate-backed farming bill for the first time ever. The bill passed the House by 71 to 20 and will now head to the Senate next. And that'll do it for the weekly Bearkat Ag Report. Many high school students are choosing to recognize their future careers as a significant milestone in their lives. On March 4th, Sam Houston will host Saturday at Sam, welcoming interested students to tour our campus. Future Bearkats can explore select residence halls they're interested in. Student organization booths will also be set up in the plaza from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Previews of the academic programs will also be available throughout the morning. Event check-in starts at 7:45 a.m.
Good news for the Bearkats men's basketball and baseball teams. I'm Bearkat Student Media sportscaster Hunter King, and I'll have all your action on the diamond and on the court coming up after the break.
The proud son of hardworking immigrant parents, Eric Rodas chose to serve his country. A father, a soldier, and now a college graduate. He proved that circumstances have nothing to do with your outcome. Since 1879, we've been helping students like Eric determine their future. Sam Houston State University, a great name in education. Third-generation Bearkat Tacey Webb roped her way to a national championship through her hard work and fearless dedication. Trading her saddle for nursing scrubs, Tacey set her sights in another arena, a place where she can champion the needs of others. Since 1879, we've been helping students like Tacey reach their championship potential. Sam Houston State University, a great name in education.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hunter King with your Bearkat Student Media Sports. In baseball, the Cats came out on top in a 3-game series against Rhode Island over the weekend over at Don Sanders Stadium. The Cats got on the board first after a wild pitch, but the lead evaporated after the Rams' Rob Butler sent a towering drive over the left field wall for a 2-run bomb. It's 2-1 Rhode Island. Down 1 in the 7th inning, though, Jake Tatum reached on an error with 1 out, and then Lane Brewster sent one into the night. A 2-run shot made it 3-2 Cats, and that's how it would end. Chandler David pitched 3 scoreless innings in the game. The Cats rallied after taking a loss on Saturday to win the final game 25-2 on Sunday. The Cats take on Rice on the road next. The men's basketball team beat Tarleton 64-59 on the road at Wisdom Gym this weekend, upping their season record to 20-6. Dante Powers and Cam Hoofner led the way in scoring, putting up 20 points each. Quay Grant also chipped in 10. Sam Houston led by 9 in the second half, but Tarleton went on an 8-0 run with only a few minutes remaining in the game. Tarleton tied the game at 46, but the Bearkats responded with buckets from Javion May and Powers, taking the lead back 62-51, where they would go on to win by 5. The Bearkats return home to take on California Baptist Thursday at 6:30 p.m. A lot of excitement on the field and on the court in the coming weeks. I'm Hunter King, and that's a wrap on sports.
Thanks for that wrap on sports, Hunter. No Valentine? No problem. Shattering a rose can take the sting off not having a date or loved one to share the special night with. Last week, several members of the J.C. Stallings Chemical Society gathered by the chemistry building on campus and turned a broken heart into a broken rose. Well, not all had broken hearts or no dates for Valentine's Day, but a few did. So what did they do that evening instead? They dipped real roses into liquid nitrogen and then slammed the petals onto the concrete or crushed them in their hands. The experiment sounded glass-breaking.
It's literally the best thing I've done all month. I mean, it's a great stress reliever. I just got done with 2 tests today, so it's just a great time.
And why are you doing it?
I don't want to say a broken heart, but a broken rose, exactly.
The liquid nitrogen freezes the rose petals to a point where they shatter when crushed or slammed into something. Each took a turn letting the roses know, you won't get the best of us this Valentine's Day. And that'll do it for us this week at Bearkat Student Media News. I'm Justin Hardcastle, and we'll see you back here next week.